One and all, pull your pants off and start swinging around the air, because that's where we're going on this map. Game number 2 in our quarterfinals between Dumu and Wham. And for the very first time, we are going to get treated to Knights Templar on Lakeside, aka Pants. If you're ever wondering why the hell does KP keep calling this map Pants, you need to go no further than just rotating the minimap. And there you go. It's some good old pantaloons. So the question now is Knights Templar Pants here? I'd be surprised if they were. This is a decent map for them. We know that Knights Templar thrives on maps which has fishing because they offset their biggest weakness, which is going into the feudal age, losing out on villages. Now, there may only be one deep water fish, but that's enough to offset the weakness. And there's still like additional through shoreline fish. And this is a sieve that gathers wood very, very well. So yeah, curious to see which way Doom wants to go with this. I imagine probably going to be a Kingdom of France like most games. Could Hospitalier be interesting? Hospitalier could be kind of a little bit intriguing. Just because of the Sacred Site win condition, you could kind of lean around it maybe. But that would involve getting genitals as well, which I just don't see happening. Ah, there's Moo arriving. Moo, I take it you still have refused to buy the DLC. Is this not pay to win enough for you yet? They're so good. In a weird way, I feel like Knights Templar is actually... Oh. Hello? Uh-oh. The micro... Yeah, what? Okay, I don't know why the microphone's doing this anymore. This is confusing the crap out of me. Sorry about that, guys. I was about to say, I think Knights Templar is actually, like, secretly a very noob-friendly civ because of this detail around wood. You know, there's some things which feel complicated, like, oh, how do I age up? Where do I age up? Why do I age up? Blah, 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 blah. But when you just look at it from a raw eco standpoint, just being able to gather wood and have wood, you know, never feeling like you're holding a bunch in reserve you don't realize or over-gathering. You know, the number you see is what you get. And it even extends to the food a little bit because of the wood-food interaction. And no, Order the Dragon crossbows, to remind people, we use a pack. So you can see... Okay, it's not going to show here. Normally it did. They removed that. Basically, we have a mod. There is a mod that can be used, which is a tuning pack, which fixes the issue with different attack speeds. So, for example, it fixes Janissaries attacking slower than they're meant to. It fixes Order the Dragon Gilded Crossbowmen attacking quicker than they're meant to. It fixes Shuganu with upgrades attacking slower than they're meant to. So, we don't have that problem competitive. That was a bug that got accidentally introduced, and shout out to Hussein. He's very quick off the mark to create a tuning pack to fix that. A tuning pack that he unfortunately forgot to use in his series up against CSO. A series that he almost won, by the way. Okay, so it's just going to be Kingdom of France. I do get a little bit bored of Kingdom of France on repeat, but it's no surprise when you consider what it does for you. It's just... Out of all these bonuses, the most generically applicable, military units being produced quicker and being cheaper. And then, of course, the Chevalier give you an element of attack, right? It allows you to pressure your opponent's side in a very cost-efficient manner. Because cavalry can always get away from a bad fight. Demu's holding a lot of resources. There we go. He is just going safe passage straight away. I guess that makes sense against Order the Dragon. It's not the best map for Sacred Site, right? Yeah, 102. Like, that's not crazy. Remember, the maximum get is 130. Wait, no, is that the close site? Okay, no, he's fine then. This will be 130. I'm surprised that that is 102. I would expect that to be closer to like 80. Like, the distance is not that far. It's a good goal gen. Wham is going to be opening with archership, but Dimmu already has his defensive archership to answer in kind. God, I'm super paranoid about the microphone now. Don't know why I've done that. It's like very weird because it's been fine for, I want to say 2+ weeks. Should Pilgrim Gold? Why do you want to see the Pilgrim Gold? What did we miss? Is there something bugged? I think maybe Myriad's just obsessed with numbers. Might have a secret addiction as like a gambler. Oh, to further away sites. He's not changing sites. That's the thing. Like, he's legitimately just sticking to the same site. Outposts are coming up. Interesting that Wham... Yeah, so like looks like Archer play is coming from Dimmu. Wasn't that Wham's fault, though? Because, yeah, he opened Spear, forced the reaction, so then he gets forced into going Outpost as a secondary. But then the idea here is probably, what, Burgrave and just stick Men-at-Arms, so you don't feel like you have to go, like, switch unit types again with a transition. There's the gold. No! No! He didn't get it, right? I'm pretty sure he did not get that. We were on Dimmu's view, Wham's view. I think... Did Dimmu get that? It looked like that stab to the back stopped him just shy. He got full on Ned Starked. You think he did? All right, someone can do an action replay. I do wish like the gold numbers would just show no matter whose perspective you're on, because it kind of matters for everyone, you know? Demo ship pressure from Dimmu. He's looking for full control on water. Interesting timing for this. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Knights Templar aren't really a civ that likes fast castling. So if you can get a win at a different point like this, then it has to feel worth it. This is interesting. We actually do have the naval arrow slits, which is going to open up for the demo ship to clear the Hulk. That's what's a lot of our time. But yeah, like this will be the kill. So pressure alleviated. Wham, just around the corner from the age up. And Dimmu is still trying to send it. Yeah, he's actually going for rams now, which against Order of the Dragon is quite risky due to the E-repairs. Are the dragons only played with Archon, or is the other landmark viable? I think Minework has its place. Archon just provides a lot more security, safety, and options. You know, there's a lot of examples like this in the game where, you know, some landmarks are just extremely situational. I wouldn't say Minework is in the extreme. It's just in the, you know, not 9%, sorry, it's like 70% of the games, it probably doesn't make as much sense. And we have some Clown Car. Okay, so this play now looks like what it is for Dimmu. It's not about getting kills on the outpost to secure access. It's just about forcing out the time. With the archers inside, it's less likely Wham wants to pull for the burn. Although we'll see, I guess. He has queued up Horseman. Yeah, spears aren't going to feel great here, though. Archers almost immediately killing him. We'll get the kill in the end. E-repairs forced very early here from Wham. Yeah, he's without gold as well. Hasn't pulled to the back gold yet, so Men-at-Arms opening is not going to be an option here. Then again, wait, did he just trade? No, I think he had another drop-off. Okay, so 166. This should be enough, right? You can get 2 Men-at-Arms out. That'll push your opponent away. And then what does he do with this? I mean, Dimmu adding in spears is a little bit surprising. He's committing. This is pretty crazy. I think part of the problem for Knights Templar that exists is that you feel punished for leaving Feudal Age. Does that make sense? The unit comp, which is most desirable, like that they do best, is Archer Spam. And Archer Spam weakens as you go to the next stage. So this is like a very, very powerful time for Dimmu. Why he doesn't want to give it over. But with Men-at-Arms already coming, Gilded Archers as well, it's feeling like the time is already gone. Veterancy about to complete for Wham. So once the Men-at-Arms are upgraded, they should just be able to afford this. 3 of them should be good enough. I think he's got, like, is it Rax and Burgrave? Oh, no, it's just Burgrave. Okay, so there is a little bit of time here. Double ram onto this thing, though. KT's one of the strongest feudal civs. I don't think that's any secret, right? Like, if you can produce archers efficiently, you're going to be rated quite highly in feudal, I feel. The problem is, like, Knights Templar, because they're so reliant on archers, because of the way they function as Civ, I almost feel like their core identity is a mismatch. You know, when I picked up Knights Templar, when I played them in that very first free-for-all ever played of Knights Templar, my first instinct is I want to build heavily armored units because I'm Knights Templar. And I remember that game, I resisted building archers because I was like, why would I build archers? That's not very Templar-y. Right? It's like, even though it makes sense mathematically why you spam archers, conceptually, it's very weird that this Civ does archers very well and everything else, I want to say, quite badly. Like, you've seen people try to spam Templar Brothers. It's very difficult. Chevalier Confrere is the only thing I see people comfortably spam. Rams. Did get through the outpost in the end, by the way. It's getting after a few farms to make it more profitable. But overall, this felt quite pricey. I mean, he spent 400 wood on this. He killed, what, 250? I'd have time alongside it. But he spent a long time in an age behind now. So we'll be a retreat pattern back to the base. We do not have an age up on the way yet from Dimmu. They have trash unit eco, but no good trash units. I mean, their archers are the good trash units. I think they're fine. Like, I don't think Knights Templar really need buffs. I wouldn't mind things that wouldn't be buffed, but just like a pivot and identity. Like, the biggest change I've talked about is a rebalance of the commanderies. I think commandery choices have already been figured out, and they're quite linear. And I don't feel like it's a case of we don't know what to really do with them yet. I think people just do. Oof, nice blocker there. Denial on the Pilgrims. This is just hard to watch, man. He's now queuing Chevalier, which are not going to do well into mass Guild of Men-at-Arms. Chevalier will get wrecked by that. Remember, these attack quicker than standard Men-at-Arms, and they also have 290 HP. Practically double what a standard Men-at-Arms would have. I mean, he just looks stuck. He has at least contested water again, so there's not much fishing happening for Wham. So maybe Dimmu's thought process is just to run his opponent out of food. That's something that Knights Templar is really good at, because obviously when you gather wood, you gather food. So it gives you a little bit more runway than other civs have. KT archers have any bonus techs? They benefit from the fortresses because you get a ranged increase by a percentage, 15% range. That would be the main one. But like the raw value is in their economy. This is working, by the way. Like, where's the next wave of Men-at-Arms? Wham is getting grinded down. It's the food income difference. This is crazy. I can't believe that. He finds the stand ground, man. Chevalier count is not looking very good for this. It's definitely an expensive stand ground moment. He holds. Behind this, Wham has got 2 relics coming home and another one safe behind his base. So somewhat cozy. And the farm count is now getting up a bit higher. So we're up to, what, 7 in total? And I think that's the problem there, right? Like, you see that if he'd moved down to Deer or had something like that to play with, I think game over. Dimmu just doesn't actually muster the troops to defend this, but it's an issue of economy. Great read by Dimmu. I think it was the only move he really had to make. But sometimes it can be uncomfortable to follow through like that. You know, you get that doubtful voice in your head like, maybe I read this wrong. Maybe he does still have food. How do they extract food from trees? Well, because they're high in fiber. And I've heard that's good for your diet. Have you ever considered that, like, Knights Templar are just chopping down the trees and eating the leaves? Who's going to eat who here, though? Dimmu, good target fire. Just going straight after the good archers. There is no scale armor, so this does hurt. And the Men-at-Arms are going to shed the Chevalier. Dimmu is starting to prep towards castle. You can see he's still reluctant to rush it, though. People used to make flour out of tree bark if there was nothing else to eat. That sounds horrible. I mean, like, I don't mean to judge, but I feel like you'd have to be barking mad to eat that. Yeah, I've got like that big goofy grin on my face right now. Anyway, You can see that he's expecting Wham to go out for more food. Instead of going for the deer, he's actually stopped off at the berries. Dumu did not build a new scout, though, so he might not realize. Did he... He didn't... Oh, my God. He didn't scout the berries, did he? No, he lacks the vision on it. He's just going to punt into them, though. So, yeah, he does reveal. Gets the gilded crossbowman straight away. That's a perfect starting target. The archers need to go off the villages, though. Does he realize it? He stops off the gilded archer. Snipes one of the villages. Actually crazy. I think Dumu, if he straight away kills the villages, probably stops the outpost going up, or it goes up with only one inside. Still, in the end, maybe this is the better way to win the fight. He does get rid of the men-at-arms again. I'm impressed, man. These men-at-arms do not look as threatening as they should be. The Chevalier are overperforming compared to what I would have expected here. Villagers have to make a break for it, but the archers could easily intercept them. Just great micro overall by Dumu. He's minimizing the archers lost in each of these engagements, just maximizing the damage dealt. And the crazy thing is, like, after this cyber fight, most players would have said, let's tech up. Not Dumu, because he understands the state of the game. If Wham was desperate enough to come out to these berries when he knew that Dumu was still alerting him, how bad is the food situation? And we can see Wham has got a few more farms added in. He's up to 16 now. So it is stabilizing finally. I wonder if Dumu goes for a dock drop on the other side soon. Because he could try to take this away. The problem is the arrow slits makes it difficult. Dumu's still flying a lot of wood, by the way. I wonder if he starts adding in farms, just make for a more efficient bloating castle. Because he has gone triple stables. And you'd think most people would switch Templar Brother, but the funny part is a lot of players stick Chevalier after teching. It makes sense. If you've got 20, 30 of these already, they're already scaling each other's health quite well. So inflate the number further is just more and more rewarding. You know, once you add another Chevalier in when you have 30, you've now increased your composition's health count by another 30. Triple, wait, what? Quadra Ram? This guy is crazy. Well, thankfully, he is going to trigger the tech up before he gets sucked into the whirlpool of another full feudal in. Republic of Genoa is going to be a good one. That's going to inflate the gold income. Still not the most impressive here. Also sucks the way Pilgrim Spawn can do this. He gets 101 and another one gives 96 because of where they start around the TC. Wham's defense is about to be tested here. Has got the emplacement. It is going to be a spiral shot as well, so decent damage that can be done here. And every little is going to count. Gilded Knights are trying to absorb a lot of the attention on the west side, but they run into spears. The Rams slowly make their way around, and the archers trying to dive past are going to go after villages. Dumu realizes this is not the type of fight to win anymore. He's been doing a great job, but it doesn't work past this point. So takes the opportunity to claim a few villager lives. Gets the tech up behind this and looks for the retreat. Yeah, you can see it. First, Doom was like, okay, we've been here before. We'll do this again. But that's sprint emplacement, guys. Like every 4 seconds, just almost insta-killing a unit. Adds up pretty quickly. Then on top of that, you've got the fact that there was enough Gilded Crossbowmen to be almost one-hitting the Chevalier. And then, don't get me started with the Gilded Knight. Even running his spears just didn't give a damn. So, Wham, finally able to break out. We'll be moving for the berries. Dimu just buying time. Now that the Chevalier have been wiped, no value in upgrading them, we are going to see an immediate switch into the Templar Brothers. Reminder, these units have more health than standard knights. They are chunky boys. They do have the interesting rule of Templars, but that doesn't come into effect until much later in the game. That's the one that gives more damage when nearby units are charging. I don't know, man. I think Dimu... Could he have teched sooner? I think it's not as much he could have teched sooner. Maybe the ram into the base wasn't needed versus just staying out of the base and stopping your opponent from fooding. Because now you're at risk. And Wham is hunting for the hunters, of which you've got a lot. 22 out here. He will get the early warning via the outpost, so he should be able to break away. But the problem is, the outpost, the mill now seen, your opponent knows you were here. So he knows that he's denied food. It's always just so funny watching them walk out to tree lines like this. Our attack from Dimmu now. Not many Templar brothers, though. No, you need to be very careful around these crossbows. Has got his own X-bows to answer the frontline men-at-arms, though. And the archers are reaching over, so able to scare off the anti-armor. Okay, nicely done. Dimmu, just every time, I think the thing that has really made a difference in these fights, the edge, has been the art of the bowman. I expect nothing else from an Englishman. It's the way he's been leveraging these archers over and over. The rest of the fight is more or less an A-click, but these archers are always cycling around looking for key targets. Even going to find the gilded archers before they have their hands on scale armor. We'll trade out the remainder here. Relics are looking good for Wham, though. He's already got 4 in the banks, and now he's got scale armor on the way. Meanwhile, poor little Dimmu is left quite the poor man. Only a single relic to his name. Yeah, I wonder if Dimmu is going to start moving towards fortresses soon. Would make a lot of sense from his current position. And we talked about this a little bit earlier, that most people stick to Chevalier. We're seeing it as well from Dimmu, even from scratch. Like, he has none in the field. He's planning to pivot back to them. And I understand that. Like, the problem with the Templar brothers is, especially against gilded crossbows, they will still quickly reach a point where they one-hit you. So you might as well have someone that they're going to truly one-hit overkill, but you have double the count off. In comes Chevalier. How's Wham's economy looking at the back? Well, his tree, like, whoa. Okay, he's gone through that quick. It makes sense. Gilded archers, spearmen, farms. Which worries me. It means that he will have to break out soon. I mean, he has somewhat secured the south tree line here. Especially with Spearman replacements now coming in. That's another big problem, isn't it, for Dimmu here? And I think that's also why you want to go back towards Chevalier. He needs torches. Otherwise, you can't beat static emplacements. I wonder why Dimmu hasn't taken the Sacred Sites as well. Even if you can't force a Sacred Site stalemate for a win condition, you can at least get the extra gold, right? Because, like, technically, Wham isn't really in a position to rush out and decap those. He's playing a slow comp, and he doesn't have much walling, so he kind of has to stay close to his economy. Especially against raiding knights. All right, ones if you think Dimmu's going to win this, twos if you think Wham's taking it. Looks like we are getting him ready to lock in the fortresses. We still do not have a cap on the Sacred Site whatsoever, though. Wow, I'm actually going to be the one moving up for some outpost vision in the area. Of which, of course, all the dragons see pretty damn far. It's like any fishing attempts are going to keep getting shut down over here. If Dimmu ever does get rid of this dock, he can just move in for his own. And I love that. Look what Dimmu done. He left a sheep here. Just in case there's a villager waiting around behind. Fortress drop now on the way in. Ah, does he let him have that? Numbers are deceptive. Like, you're doubled in terms of raw entities, right? Could be a scary fight to take. He's going to try anyway. Archers immediately start targeting that back line. It looks like the crossbow's being targeted first. Fortress is definitely going up. Yeah, Wham. I can't believe this, man. Just looking at the raw numbers in the fight, I guess he felt a necessity because of the difficulty around Sacred Sites, but this didn't feel like the type of fight you wanted to ever take. Frontline's been broken, sure. A lot of cavalry died. You got drained as well. Your opponent also got a lock on the fortresses. He's got a second one coming on the south side as well. Dimmu's just on it. Okay, and remember, this is going to inflate the gold income as well in more than one way, because you can also go for treasure towers, which has immediately been queued up. Life is good in the KT Empire. Wham does still have some good things going his way. Remember, the 4 relics is definitely no small task or small value. But it isn't Regnant, so we're not talking about crazy infinite gold gains. He has to take risks like this. Is that another? No, it's just the same fortress. I thought he had a third. I was like, bloody hell. I mean, he's going to soon. He's already got another 1,000 stone. We're at what now? 93, 101. Would be nice to have just a gate here to make this a bit more efficient on the route. But only a small detail. The nice thing about Knights Templar is like having that difference in walk around. It doesn't really make that much of a difference because you have to remember the pilgrims spawn every minute. So even if they have to walk a long way around, like let's say you had to walk all the way south and then back around, it doesn't really hurt your gold income as long as you don't get interrupted. And what on earth? Like, no, I want to go. No, I want to go. What was that? I have never seen that before. They were just arguing over who gets the bank first. So weird. And it looks like we have got a switch. Yeah, goes to the safer sacred site, and now we're just going to get pretty ludicrous numbers. 130, then Genoa's going to give the extra, what, 30%. Then he's got Treasure Tower, so it's like, was it 180? No, it's 200 and... Where did this before? I think it's like 203 if I remember correctly. It's ridiculous how good it is. This strategy allows Knights Templar to get over 2,000 gold income in the late game. Per minute. Passively. Infinitely. Castle is going to keep being repaired here. The Treb count is just not really that impressive. Wham only has 2 in total. Another castle's coming up. The horsemen are going to try to rally in, but villagers should be quick enough at this. Unless the archers target them. They're not going to be able to quick enough, though. And now he's diving underneath double fortress. Make it triple. And there you go. 203 gold. Life is good. In the hood. The Knights Templar hood. Wait, did he actually build it up? Yeah, so he's been fishing all the way down here. Wham does still at least have a little bit of reliable economy back there. But I'm struggling to see the reliable plan now. I get what he's going through, rather the breakthrough, but finally we got up to 3 trebuchets. Almost feels like you need 4 or 5 here to rush this. Even more so now that Dumu's doing this. We have anti-siege for the siege. You better take out the outpost, but then after that, remember, the counterweight trebuchets can also target you. Now, the reason this is important, folks, is that without this outpost, Wham doesn't have the sufficient vision to see while staying out of range. We've seen this actually from Dumu, in a Dumu, I think it was Kilgardi game before, where the outpost vision, the extra vision that HRE and All the Dragon gets, was the difference between the trebuchets not being seen. He's looking good, though. We're down to 7 minutes. Now, Dumu building these defenses has definitely sacrificed his production of raw, real military. Not to mention the repair crew has been expensive. Fortress is about to break. Yeah, the problem is, like, Wham doesn't actually... It should have mattered, those outposts, but it almost feels like Dumu maybe would have been served better trying to snipe the Trebs. It's just so difficult to do because if there's a villager nearby, this just gets repaired. Easier said than done for sure. You see how good they can be. Remember, the Knights Templar Trebs attack twice. Their burst attack. So it kind of, it means you get less opportunities to insta-snipe compared to standard trebuchets if you are lucky, but it also depletes the reliance on RNG, if that makes sense. Like, you get some form of more consistent damage because there's more opportunities for these pebbles to hit their target. Decapitate. Yeah, a bit ambitious. Does back away early before it become expensive. Wham's economy still in crazy town. 1600 food is good, but it's not like you can afford to blow 10 horsemen and just go again. Second fortress is about to drop. Wham's starting to look pretty good here. Military numbers definitely leaning his way. Dumu's reliance on the fortresses might come to bite him in the butt here. Especially with the full buff on that backline. Gilded Archers with 6 armor when Inspired Warriors buff is there. Great trade-off against other ranged. Dumu is going to be squaring up. Mango's moving in. Decent hit. Needs a quick reload, though. The question is how many troops you're going to lose before you shoot again. And how many are you going to claim in response? Look at that. The moment the Mangos have to reload, Wham dives in deeper. Horseman close to breaking through here. Another castle being rushed up behind Dumu. It's full siege warfare. Half of his military population is siege. That's about to change. Horseman sneaking in. He's going to get counted out. Wham, the Trebs. They are truly deep in the war here. Another fortress goes up. But as quick as it's erected, it shall deflate here. Reload's coming through. Treb count looks good enough. The problem here is it looks like Dumu himself needs horsemen to deal with this siege. While they're finally arriving, the question now is whether they're going to be a little bit too late. Splintering begins. You can get the second one. Dumu. This is ridiculously expensive. But the castle is barely holding on. Treb count getting lower. It's only 2 remaining. Wow, he doesn't have the firepower anymore. Are you kidding me? Dumu, this is incredible. Incredibly expensive might be the other word for it. That is ridiculous. Dumu right here on this screen is using, what, 28 of his villages, I believe that is, to repair this thing. Now remember, when you repair more than 3 villages, it has an added cost in terms of your stone burn. So he's working overtime. It's 28 villages there. Now another 15 gathering stone itself. Half of his economy is in some way or form focused on keeping this castle alive. And he's done it. Now you might be wondering, is it going to be worth it? And I gotta say, with he's got this many mangoes, as long as he sorts spears, it has to be. Difficult now for Wham to dive in. Is he out of shots to fire here? He's starting to look grim, folks. Dumu, he was on the edge of the abyss, it felt like there. If that fortress went down, game over. Now, Wham, he does have better, reliable economy, right? The farm count is not that great for Dumu. Only 16 in total. Compared to what's probably like 25? Yeah, 23 farms, and of course, their gilded villages, a lot of them buffed. So this is still not over. Technically, Wham can win the meat grind. The problem is, can he pump the meat out quick enough? We're up to 14 horsemen now. Almost 10 spears. And Spiral's getting added in by Dumu as well. This is full CG Dumu mode. Trebs are still trying to snipe each other. Fortress is down though. Oh, hold on a second. Dumu, he's replacing it with outposts now. Those are getting denied before they can be erected, though. Mangoes, not guarded. Horsemen, they ride in. That's a freebie. Doesn't get as much as he would have liked here. He's going for a second strike. Would be nice if he get the third. Does give the gap close the front line of spearmen. And a full surround here is on every single side of him. Wham! With a full 360 surround, but the pathing getting a little bit weird. However, the front line has been erased. Dumu has barely got anything left to fight back with that is bio. 16 crossbows. The rest just filling with cannon fodder. Wham, decent amount of gilded archers left over. There's also nothing to truly protect this from a decap now on the east side. Villages have to be pulled just to try and keep the remaining siege alive. Wham's going to slow down temporarily, but not for long. The gilded archers are poking. They have better range than the crossbows, so it's an easy exchange. And I think he's getting ready for one more pump here. We are down to under 2 minutes on the sacred site. Question now is whether Dumu is down and out of the food necessary to remass. He never built additional farms. It's just the 16. There's no additional food gathering happening. It's getting tough. Wham has textiles on the way, so I think he's getting prepped for a villager pull. Might be necessary just to get the decap. It's ridiculous. 47 siege population right now. It's 9 mangoes. But guys, this is what happens when you mass fortresses. What else are you meant to do with this? Pilgrim's got a pilgrim, so you've got a siege. This has to be feeling so vexing. Sometimes it can be very tricky for Knights Templar to get stationed. I think this goes back to what we talked about, the issue of Knights Templar, right? It's like in the early game, it's about archers. And if you get to this stage, it's not even about your heavy men-at-arms, your heavy cavalry, all these cool units. That gold is quite often going to go to siege like this. Especially when you have sacred sites like you get on Lakeside. Horsemen are rotating all the way around the back. Unfortunately, that is going to be blocked by the wood wall. Come back around now. Villagers with the pull. Goes to dive him. The Springles! Gets the torches out. The Mangoes are in a bit of a panic mode. They're going to have to trade out against the Gilded Archers, but potato aim right there. Wham! He's throwing it all away. This is ridiculous. Even if he somehow wins this fight, he'll have 0 economy left over. He pulled half of what he actually had just to try and make that happen, and it's still not enough to put a dent in Dumu's magnificent bald head. Look at that, 49 siege population still, and a GG call that has now got the Canadian wondering if there is any chink, any vulnerability in Benny Boy's armor.